this year. Obviously, Serie A has been continuing to go on nonstop. There's been a little bit of hiatus in the second division of Germany, but yeah, man, it's been pretty crazy. And Anthony says so far, I've liked what Fulkrug has brought to Milan with his hold up play and his toughness. Yeah, that's been the big question. Fulkrug, obviously, he was someone who's very well known in Germany. Scores a boatload of goals, not only for Dortmund but his previous club. Gets this big move to the Premier League and doesn't get the minutes that he was expecting. Doesn't kind of live up to expectations that they were hoping, at least. But when you don't play in the position that you're expected to, how can you expect to perform at the level that you were doing before? Nonetheless, he goes out and now he's with Milan, and I think he'll do well there. He's a type of striker that Massimiliano Allegri likes to use. And Kunku over the last 3 games is slowly finding his shooting boots with Milan. This is true. Yeah, he's finally in his form. Everyone's trying to say that he was a flop, and all of a sudden he started scoring some goals now, finding some form. Funny how that happens when you start playing some minutes. So good for him. Good for Serie A. We got a title race going on here. At the beginning of the season, lots of people picking for different reasons. Milan. The big thing, obviously, top four. Top four. I mean, Inter's got a hold on it at the moment, 3 points, but it's just 3 points. It's just one game. We still got all the rivals to face in the second half of the season. Anything can happen in these games. We'll see. So far, Christian Kivu's done pretty good in these games. Not great, but the teams are starting to find form. Milan is trying to figure it out. And it's funny with Milan is that as good as they've been with results-wise, 3 points back, they've looked up and down all throughout the season. They start out slow. They have to come from behind often. They don't play consistently, and that's very anti-Allegri, not Allegri-like, but they're getting done. My question mark still with Napoli is Champions League. How do they balance that? That'll be the one to watch for me. I think Milan will be comfortably in the top four. Hopefully Tari can get Magnon's signature over the line if reports are true. Yeah. That would be key for Milan. Inter are setting the pace at the moment in the top four. Milan, I think, are a viable threat to the Scudetto. It's that of the two teams right now, Inter are the more consistent for sure. Milan has had their issues, whether it's a Leao issue or now it's a Pulisic thing or it's Tomori in defense or whatever. They have obviously Luka Modric, fantastic. He's just a world class, wonderful player, maestro. But there's so many inconsistencies with the team as opposed to Inter, who just they're like a machine. They keep going and going, and all credit to Christian Kivu for what he's done with this club. So historically, it's a good omen for Inter. Those who have been Campione d'Inverno, the fall champions, they go on to win the Scudetto 70% of the time. So it bodes well for Inter, but they have a slim lead right now. And they still got Champions League. Napoli have Champions League. Milan don't. But Milan are consistent. Milan can get some consistency and don't play like the buffoons that they have been at times in different games. Could be theirs, but I don't want to jinx anything, so we'll say Inter for now. Who do you guys think? Who do you have as the favorite at the moment for the Scudetto? Is it Inter, Milan, anybody else? Napoli, Juve, Roma, Cremonese? Oh man, let's see. Milan, obviously, it was a 6-point lead until yesterday, until Milan obviously won 3-1, beating Como, 2 goals by Adrien Rabiot. Allegri's getting it done. He's getting it done. Micora Dica Milan. Okay, Dominic. Yeah, my heart says it too, but officially, I'm gonna not try to jinx it here. Knock on wood. Anthony says, I think the Scudetto will be between Inter, Milan, and Napoli. Yeah. Modric and Il Cavallo Pazzo himself, Rabiot, have been our best signings at Milan this season. Thank you, Jonathan Rowe, for getting into a fist fight with Rabiot and Marseille. Yeah, that helped a lot, for sure. Then you got, obviously, Christopher Nkunku now coming into form. We talk about Jonathan David getting into form now, as is Christopher Nkunku. And then I got Nicholas Fulkrug to the action, who's going to make it another talented goal scorer up there. So we'll see what happens with Jimenez. He might be odd man out in this one. I guess he already is. Because Nkunku's starting to get his form with his balloon celebrations, and Fulkrug is a legit goal scorer. He wants to be on the German national team as the main striker, continue to be on the squad as the main striker, so he's going to be motivated. We'll see how they go, but so far, the team's going well. Obviously, they're being led by Leao, and obviously Christian Pulisic. Magnon has regained his form as well. But obviously, Modric and Rabiot are big contributions for Milan this season, hence why they're doing so well. Allegri's finally starting to get his team adapting to the tactic and the tactical shift from what was previously under Pioli. They're not there yet, obviously, because there's so many missteps throughout the season, whether it's at the beginning of the game or just lapses in judgment throughout the game, or they just have frustrating results. But they're still with all the BS that we as Milan fans have had this season. They're 3 points out from top place, which is unreal. Would they have wanted games like Genoa and Fiorentina back? Yes. Look at some of the other games that they had. Why is my thing not working? Anyway, there we go. Let's see. Great result against Napoli. Probably wanted a result against Juve, but that was a good game against Juve. Probably want that Pisa game back. 2-2 there. Part of my game. That was another game they wanted back. Great result against. It's the thing about Allegri. He gets his teams ready for the big games, and on the big games, against the best team in Serie A this season, Milan has delivered for the most part. But it's those teams that you're expecting them to win, you're expecting them to being somewhat cruise control. That's where the lapse in judgment is. The frustrating part of watching them. Sassuolo 2-2, Genoa 1-1, Fiorentina again. I figured it out against Como, obviously led by Adrien Rabiot, but they got to figure it out. But I like what I'm seeing under Allegri. He has such a demand for this team. I think it's going to be, once it's all said and done, I think we're going to have a Allegri who's more in the role of Juventus 1.0 versus Juventus 2.0 when he was there. We'll see. 3 points out of first. I think we'd all take it all day seeing how last year went. Wonderful result there for sure. And Christian Pulisic is flying in all cylinders, getting goals and assists. Is undoubtedly the best player on the team outside of Luka Modric, I would say, in my opinion. Many people will say Christian Pulisic is the man, and he's been performing like it this season. He's 2 goals behind Lautaro Martinez, and this makes the Capocannoniere race even that much more interesting to see that obviously the 2 Milanese clubs leading the way in terms of goals. Dom, I don't think he trusts Stupion at this point. Yeah. I wish Max would quit starting Stupion. Stupid man over Bartasaghi. It's ridiculous how much better Bartasaghi is. Yeah. Props to Bartasaghi for earning his spot in the starting 11. Teo was still at the club. I doubt he would be given a fair shot like he's given this season. Yeah. Yusuf Fofana, he's been awful. He has been. He made his movie back until March with surgery. Okay. Loving me some Rabiot. Loved when he signed. But yeah, it's we'll see what happens. Watch out for Milan. The wall, Mike Magnon is back. Does he get an extension? Milan's 19-game unbeaten run a sign of champion, or are they getting lucky with Magnon's heroics? It's a question there.